Shop.com is what we would like to share with you tonight. Again, as you evaluate, I'd love for you to be having an open mind, because our mind is just like a parachute. It only works when it's open. So if you have an open mind, then you will be able to see whether this will fit into your lifestyle and will benefit you. So as you can see here, Newsweek, which is statistics ranking, all around the world, actually gave Shop.com one of the top 1,000 online shops across 8 industries and 39 categories to create a ranking of best online shops. So basically with this business, we don't actually need to have any kind of retail stores that are physical stores. Everything is done online. So it's an internet business. And out of all of the online shops in the world, I'm sure that you understand online is really the trend nowadays. Shop.com ranked number 11, out of more than really 1,000 shops. So that goes to show that we are really credible. And things like, many other companies, Target or like Costco, Amazon, Apple, Sears, that are very famous, are in line with the other online providers. And this is actually a prestigious ranking, because that means that we are really highly recognized in the industry, both with high tech and high touch. What that means is that, like, technology wise, we are very much online, being able to serve people, but the one-to-one type of connection through high touch is very important as well. So just wanted to let you know that you can be assured you are evaluating an amazing company, because we have been recognized industry-wise, many awards. As you can see below the computer here, we are leading the digital shopping revolution. And we also have different awards, like in 2017, we ranked 36, but today already we are 11. So that means we've grown better and better. And every single year, like from 2017, 18, 19, we are definitely all part of top 500 or top 1,000 in different categories of online shops. And we won the Better Business Bureau, which is, the A+ award, which I'll share a little bit more a bit later. But here you can see some of the accolades and beautiful awards that the company has won. So as I mentioned, last year, we had been awarded and ranked 36th largest global online marketplace. And 2018, the year before, in terms of internet retailer, meaning, anything that is purchased online, we were, the winner of ranking 65th. And then in Internet Retailer Asia, out of 500, we ranked 96. So as you can see, all the different accolades. But one of the most important is that Shop.com has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, which means that, it's actually top of the range, and is, integrity and excellence is really recognized all around as well. And so as you can see, all the awards that's given to us. And Better Business Bureau, if you actually search online, you will see that is something that there's no other company apart from us that has won this twice, 2013 and 2018. And other companies like Apple and Amazon, they may have won once, but really Shop.com is the only company and the very first company that has won it more than once. So in a nutshell, Shop.com and Market Australia, which has a very amazing mission, and that is we want to provide a system for entrepreneurs or business owners to create an ongoing income and become financially independent while providing customers worldwide with a better way to shop. So the mission is twofold. One is for people who want to actually become their own boss, to then create income residually so that they can be financially free. But in terms of customers and people that like to shop online, we provide them with a really good way to shop as well. And through revolutionary technology, which is given by the company, it allows us to actually use high technology and the power of people. Of course, that includes people like you and me. As you can see, on the right-hand side of this slide, which is something I love, you can see all the people working together with smiley faces in interdependence and synergy, which means that you are in business for yourself but not by yourself. And I'm aware that there are some of us here who are traditional business owners, or you may have your own business or freelance business. You generally would be working on your own with your own business, whereas with this business, you can see from this people working together, being so happy because you are able to work and be able to support and help one another along the way. So that's why this business is powered by people like you and me, average people. And nowadays, there are 4 major trends that's happening right now that we have seen time and time again, more so now with the pandemic than before, and that is retail store collapsing. And of course, even before then, with the COVID-19, a lot of the retail stores, whether it's here locally in Australia or overseas, have closed down because of the rise in online sales, and more internet sales have become the norm. And one-to-one marketing, meaning, we actually refer other people once we actually love something, is better than mass marketing. Mass marketing are things like if you actually, watch TV and in between there's like a lot of the advertising through, commercial break or like radio advertising or billboards. Those are no longer relevant to many of us. And I don't know about you, but when I watch a show, when the commercial break comes and when there are advertising or marketing, I would just go and do my own thing, right? Whereas if someone, let's say, if you've seen a movie or if you've gone to a beautiful restaurant, let's say like Yomo-san's restaurant is so yummy, I would then tell other people about it. So it's very one-to-one referral based when it comes to sharing of good service or products. And rise in entrepreneurship is also something that becomes a norm, because majority of people know that they cannot rely on their own job or even their small business to be able to attain financial or time freedom, as you're able to have more backup plan and do things so that you become your own boss, you can earn more money. So because of these 4 trends, really our company Market Australia and shop.com create these opportunities for all of us to be able to position ourselves ahead of all of these 4 trends, and also through what we call the unfranchised business. So the business that we want to share with you for you to evaluate tonight is the unfranchised business. So what does that mean? What is unfranchised? Now, when you think about franchise, I'm sure you've all heard of different franchises like McDonald's or like Wendy's ice cream or Courier Please or Boost Juice, right? So these are the franchises that they all have systems, they all have standardization and uniformity. So whether you have a McDonald's in China or McDonald's in Japan or McDonald's in Sydney or Melbourne, it's the same golden arch, right? The same yellow golden arch, and the type of fries or type of burgers that they make are systemized. Everything is the same. So no matter where you are. So that is what franchise is about. And of course, the management systems and marketing tools, trainings, all of that are standardized. And of course, they are market-driven products and services. Everyone knows about it. And the branding, because of all the franchises that are happening more and more different places, become more aware. A lot of people will then, follow those franchises. So with our company, it's the same thing. We have all of these things that a franchise has to offer. However, if you have a look at the right-hand side, we are not like a franchise in some areas, which in fact are better off, because if you were to own a franchise, say for example, McDonald's, you need to have more than 1 million or even more to even just start up. Say for example, my brother, he's got a Courier Please, a delivery franchise. For him to buy the franchise anywhere, it would be about like 40 to 80,000. Even that is considered, quite affordable. And then you need to buy the van, and all of that has to be taken into consideration. So in fact, if you don't actually have certain amount of capital, it's not easy to get into a franchise. And not only that, once you get into a franchise, you need to give your whole time into it. Whereas with you know, the unfranchise, what we're offering you, you don't have to give up what you're doing. You can slowly build it up. And the startup expenses that we come in with this business is very, very minimal. And not only that, you can actually have potential tax advantages. That means, you know, you can actually get a lot of benefits out of the assets from the business as well. And there's no large overhead and territorial restrictions, which means it doesn't matter where you are because everything is done online. I've got businesses, you know, in Australia, of course, within Australia, whether it's Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Gold Coast, everywhere, but also in overseas, like Hong Kong, that's where I was born, but also I've got partners in Malaysia, Singapore, and all the different areas. So there's no territorial restrictions. Even some of my customers are from different parts of the world. And whereas if you own a franchise, you can only be in certain area. If you've got a McDonald's, let's say in Melbourne, if you want to have another McDonald's in Sydney, you need to pay another franchise fees. Whereas here, you don't have to do that. And you can do part-time and then with flexible hours, rather than, you know, having to put all of your time into it in the beginning. And once you get to a point where you can, you know, say fire your boss or like stop your existing business and just do this and have the time and financial freedom to do the things you want, you can do that as well. In fact, I wouldn't even say it's little risk. It's actually, there is no risk because whatever that you get from the business, you can use and there is really no risk. The only risk I would say is not to try, not to do it. Now, this company was founded in 1992, so up until this year, it's already 28 years, you know, by August, it will be 29 years already. And Market America Worldwide, which is like a global company, is a product brokerage and internet marketing company that specializes in one-to-one marketing. So right here, we've got a few themes. The first theme is product brokerage, which means that we don't actually manufacture anything. Anything that is hot and good and important and the market needs, we then broker it. We you know, work with the best manufacturers to actually produce these products and services and share them with our customers. And internet marketing company means, you know, everything can be done online. And one-to-one marketing means, you know, we personally are your shop consultants. You can share with others, just like I mentioned. Something that is good, you can then share with others, like a referral base. And that is the best type of sharing because it's word of mouth. You have experienced something good. You want others to benefit as well. And we are actually based originally headquartered in Greensboro, North Carolina in the United States, and all over the world we actually employ over 850 people globally, and we have operations in the United States, Canada, Australia, Taiwan, Hong Kong, United Kingdom, Singapore, and Malaysia. Now, the box below is very important. As I've already mentioned in the beginning, we won the Better Business Bureau thrice with the Torch Award, both 2013 and 2018. So we are the very first and so far the only company that has won this award thrice. And what that means is, you know, we are known as a company for our trust, performance, and integrity, and A+ rating. Of course, A+, there's nothing better than that. And so worldwide company sales and unfranchised owner, we've been able to accumulate more than $50 billion of retail sales with all of our hundreds of products available. You know, it's actually billion. Out of those 15.5 billion, more than 8 billion, which is more than 51%, have gone back to the unfranchised owners. And that means, you know, the CEO and the company is really generous because there's no other company, I can assure you, that would give back to their independent owners this much of percentage. And out of that, you know, thousands of owners, like some of us here, are earning anywhere between $300 to $3,600 per week. So I'd like to ask you to think about that. If you earn some extra $300 or 3,600 in between per week, would your life be a little different? I mean, for a lot of my friends who are, mothers that have kids, and even for them, an extra $300 a week would make a difference in their lives, whether it's to buy, extra things for holidays, or pay for their mortgage. But when you think about $3,600 per week, that would be $187,000 annual residual income. Now remember, the income that we're talking about is ongoing. It's not like when you stop working, then it will stop. So that is an ongoing income. And more than 500 people all around the world have earned in excess of more than $1.4 million in commission. So that's millionaires, more than 500 of them. But what I think is really, really important is, even if we earn an extra 300 to say 3,000, 3,600 per week, that is still really, really good. And of course, if you want to be $1 million earner, that is really something that is achievable, as more than 500 people have already achieved that. So now, Ken, are you there? Are you able to share a little bit about the 45-year plan with us?
Hello, can you hear me right here?
Yes, thanks.
Cool. Yeah, thanks, Ricky. That's a really good setup. I guess when we talk about the 45-year plan, it's pretty much what most of us know, right? I remember even from a young age, my mom kept drilling to me, "Oh, you got to be your own boss, right?"
Yes.
It's just unfortunate that I actually really love what I do at Arab.
Yep. It's good.
Because it's big scale, but at the same time, I think, having the business shop.com, it allows me to sort of move away from this 45-year plan. And what it means is this: so typically, if you enter the workforce at the age of 20, we call it the 45-year plan, because you work from 20 to 65. I mean, that's that finish line, right? When you can actually access your super. Some can access it earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But typically, I mean, this is the reality that we face. 95% of us, of the world, we do that. So that's the 45-year plan. And when you do that, I mean, even I'm a fairly decent position in my company, but you do recognize that you're working for the financial plan of someone else, and that someone else are the top hierarchy.
Yeah.
And so you spend all your time, you do get the reward from it, your wage, which is fantastic, which is great. But ultimately, you're building someone else's financial future, and it's not your own. And there's the 5% that's financially fit.
Mm-hmm.
And they are typically, the top tier of an organization. They are typically entrepreneurs. And I remember my mom, we had a conversation this many, many years ago. She said, one of the best return on investment is actually business. And, so that's the kind of 5% that, we all want to be part of, but sometimes don't know how to transition into. And the rest of 95%, like I said, you're still working or financially struggling, or you're dead.
Yes.
It's probably a higher percentage. Yeah. So I might move on to the next slide then, Kitty. And as part of the 45-year plan, look, all of us, we had debts. I believe, one kind or another. Credit cards are debts. Some of us may have car loans, mortgages, student loans. And, there's something that we're working towards that we need income to finance, to support ourselves in. One thing that was quite interesting, especially when Kitty introduced this concept to me, is what you would actually need to have in your bank to earn $1,000 a month. Okay, so we all know we're in a very low interest environment now, and that's globally, not just in Australia. We have negative interest in some countries. So it was staggering, actually. If you think about it, how would you actually get an extra $1,000 a month, right? Unless you have a huge inheritance, in this case, 600,000 or more. If you stuck that into a bank, and typically you get a 2% interest rate. Some high interest paying accounts may give you a bit more, but let's, for argument's sake, say it's 2% interest. You need $600,000 of asset sitting there somewhere to produce an extra $1,000 a month. Look, you know, I'm not the poorest person around, but I definitely don't have 600,000 of income generating assets in this sense sitting in a bank account to get me $1,000 a month. And of course, many of us think, you know, when we get to 65, superannuation and pensions are the answers. The next step is actually pulled from DSS. And that's 77% of Australians over 65 years of age. You know, for the majority of them, the income comes from the pension, and that is an average of about 1,600 Australian dollars a month. So most people are depending on this line that you get to at 65. And then when they get there, and this is 77% of Australians, this is not just sentiment, this is actual statistics, you end up on 16,000, you know, a month. I mean, if you think about that, 16,000 a month, some of us can barely pay rent on just that, and then probably, you know, have instant noodles for the rest of your month. So it's worthwhile thinking, and I think that's what got my attention.
Yes.
Certainly.
Thank you, Ken. Yeah, I would like everyone to think about that as well, because as much as what you're doing might be offering you some kind of financial security, like Ken said, this is a reality. If you look at, you know, whether you might have some debt, or when you get to a point where you're retired, whether you'll be able to have a comfortable retirement. So that's why tonight I'm going to be sharing with you this plan that we would like you to evaluate, and that is what we call the 2 to 3 year plan, which is a plan for your own financial success. And Ken said it so well that we are, if we're doing the 45-year plan, whether it's actually, you know, a job that you do in your corporate world, or even when you're working a small business, at times really you actually don't have the time freedom, then that might mean, you know, even if you have financial success, it's still not ideal, because as soon as you finish working, or if you don't have, you know, the opportunity to spend time with your loved ones, then, you know, it's still not the best. So that's why when you look at, you know, some of the things below, I would like you to think about what are 1 or 2 of the things that you currently would love to have but can't because of what you're doing in your 45-year plan. Whether it's debt reduction, time freedom. Time freedom is one thing that I find is so valuable, because you can be working you know, your own business, or even when you're actually in a very high position in a job and earning heaps of money. But then when you don't work, the money will not keep coming in. Whereas when you're able to earn an ongoing income, or what we call a residual income, then you will be able to have both time and financial freedom. So that is something to think about. And of course, if you've got kids, you know, you want to establish university or college fund for them. And if you want to retire young and retire rich, like Robert Kiyosaki talks about, and that is one of my big goals, is to retire my husband early so we can spend more quality time together. That's my big why. And financial security, as well as, you know, paying not only for your mortgage and rent, but perhaps extra money for you to be doing things you really love for your lifestyle, you know, extra things that you like. So if you don't mind, perhaps you can just pop it into the group chat. What are some of the things that are here, and maybe other things that you think the 45-year plan might not be able to provide you, that perhaps if there is another plan that can provide you, what would that thing that you would want, whether it's time freedom or backup plan? Because especially now, I've seen many of my friends who've been stood down, because of the fact that, you know, the situation of the pandemic. But if we really do have a backup plan, at least, you know, we will be able to have extra income. But out of all of this, you know, the box below is what we call create a residual income. Is something we all need to be thinking about, because residual income means whether you do go to work or not, the money will keep coming in. Residual income typically, you know, is for the normal, people that are celebrities or very good sort of people that are very high in their ability to, let's say, write a book, very like J.K. Rowling and others like Michael Jackson. I mean, he's dead now, but his CD keeps coming, selling to people who have residual income. But how many of us are actually, special like that? We don't necessarily have creative juice like that. Then there is an opportunity, and that's what we call the 2 to 3 year plan. And so just to explain what this business can offer you, we are actually, as I mentioned, a product brokerage company. We've got hundreds of products and services available, and it doesn't rely on any one type of service or product. And we have access to multi-billion-dollar markets, and there are so many things that are market-driven that we can actually provide to our customers. And so that means, it allows the company flexibility to move with the marketplace. So whatever the marketplace needs or wants, we are able to provide them. And as a result, we don't have to worry about the burden of manufacturing. And at the same time, product brokerage company means that we are in different areas of line of division where these are the things that everyone would need anyway. So things like health and nutrition, age management, cosmetics, weight management, website, internet services, and home garden, baby, children care. So anyone that or you yourself would be using at least, one or two of this line of products. And of course, coming soon are some of the things that we may not need and see right now that are in demand. But our company is always, following the trends, whatever that is necessary, we always provide that. And that is the beauty of being part of a company like ours, which is a product brokerage company. And as I mentioned, we're also an internet marketing company. We've got hundreds of partner stores with thousands of products, and both exclusive products that are, specifically ours, as well as partners that are very famous companies that you will know and love as well. So there's this concept called the shopping annuity. Shopping annuity is a revolutionary concept that helps people convert their spending into earning. So shopping annuity, if you don't understand, an annuity is actually something that you put some money aside and earn. Let's say if you've got discretionary income, extra income, and you put it into a term deposit, that can be considered an annuity. However, you always have to have extra money. But with shopping annuity, it's something that you would be spending anyway, like toilet paper, paper towels, skincare, health products, and household usages, and all of these things you would be buying every single week or month anyway. Then you're spending the money, why not get paid for it, right? So that makes sense. So all of your purchases from the website can be turned into an earning. So when you or anyone that you lead to shops online, then you get 100% of the credit for all of those purchases. So if I was to ask you, between the 45-year plan, which is for you to trade time for money, you go to work every day, you come back home, you go to work, you come back home for 45 years. Let's say you start at 20 and when you retire at 65, if you stop working the 45-year plan, then you won't have any money that will keep coming in. However, with the 2 to 3 year plan, all we ask is you invest in part-time, weekly 8 to 15 hours, and you can earn anywhere between $30,000 to $3,600 a week. Would that make a difference? Certainly, right? And it's not just $300 to $3,600 linear income, which means that if you don't work, you won't get it, because this is actually something that will be accumulated as a residual income. So let's say if both the 45-year plan and the 2 to 3 year plan works, which would you prefer? Maybe you can just pop it into the group chat. Would you prefer the 2 to 3 year plan to be able to earn an ongoing residual income of $3,600 per week? Or you want to work 45 years until when you retire to be able to earn perhaps not even $3,600 per week? But let's say if you are going to be failing both your 45-year plan and 2 to 3 year plan, even if you fail the 2 to 3 year plan like 5 times, it would be like 10 to 15 years. You will definitely be able to continue doing it to a point where you know how to do it well and be able to earn money, right? So that's why it's very, a question that I ask with really no-brainer, because 2 to 3 years is something that you can do in your part-time while also doing your 45-year plan. We're not to ask you, all right, well, you have to give up on what you're currently doing, quit your job, or stop your business and just do this, because you only require you to do part-time, up to 15 hours a week. However, if you were, as we talked about, you're a franchise, if you buy a McDonald's or if you do, a Boost Juice company, you will need to be totally give up on what you're currently doing and just do that business. So that's why 2 to 3 year plan, I can see many of you answer that. It's really a no-brainer. Every one of us will be choosing 2 to 3 year plan, but I'm also saying that you don't have to be worried about having to give up your 45-year plan. Okay, so that is something to think about. The 2 to 3 year plan is really what we want to ask you to think about, to add in conjunction with what you're currently doing. But of course, there are people who said that, well, I'm happy to do this 2 to 3 year plan and just focus on that and then maybe work part-time, and that's good as well. So to find out more about this global online internet franchise business, we actually have another event that will be coming up where we'll be showing you exactly how the 2 to 3 year plan works, which basically is very simple. It will take another half an hour or so, but because we're sort of getting a bit late, I won't go through it tonight. But I would love for you to come back. We are going to be having another session on Tuesday night. If you want to come in, you can go back to the person who invited you so that we can show you what we call a second evaluation, second look, so that we can just go through the different steps. You can, work out how to do the 2 to 3 year plan as you do the 45-year plan. And next Wednesday, we've got, the what we call an unfranchised business presentation, where you'll see the whole caliber of people from all around the world sharing. But even the people that are here, some of us have already been able to earn an ongoing residual income anywhere between 300 to 3,600 per week. And that is all ongoing residual, meaning whether you stop working or not, the amount will keep coming in. And I can say that for my own experience, that I've had times where I went for holidays and where I have not been actually working this business as I've been working really hard right now. Still, every while, at least every month, every fortnight, I will still keep getting the income from it. So this is a reality. As I mentioned, there's so much that you can do with this, because we've got all the different lines of products and you don't have to be fixed in one. So there are 3 different opportunities for you to evaluate the 2 to 3 year plan. On Tuesday night, I've got one that I will only just go through the 2 to 3 year plan for about half an hour, so that you know how the money side of things work. So that's next Tuesday night at about 8 o'clock Melbourne time. Or Wednesday at 7:30, we have our corporate leader, Kevin Buckman, who will be showing the full presentation, including what I've shown tonight and the 2 to 3 year plan. Okay, so if you want to learn more about that, again, go back to the person who invited you. They would have all the information and the Zoom link to come on. But before I end tonight, I just want to invite a couple of people to share their experience and why they chose the 2 to 3 year plan, either on top of or alongside a 2 to 3 year plan. First up, I'd like to invite Dennis. He's a very, very new unfranchised owner, but he's already doing amazingly well, has already starting to develop an organization. So Dennis, on to you.
Thank you, Kitty. Indeed, it's a privilege to be able to share with our guests tonight. It rings a bell, the 45 years plan. Yeah. Now, in my first part of my corporate life, I was in the 45 years plan. While I enjoy the work, enjoy flying around, but it's still a 45-year plan. Now, I was able and fortunate enough to transit into business, a traditional business. And obviously that allows me flexibility of time. But however, it's still in the 45-year plan because there's something which gets me a bit unsettled. Subsequently, I become a partner in the real estate organization, and that's still, I'm in the 45-year plan.
Yeah.
Now, I was invited to this business a couple of months back, and I was already looking for something which I'm looking for a long, long time, which is residual income, a additional income stream that will allow me to do what I want to do, and also to provide me the cash flow that will continue for many years to come. Therefore, I have been evaluating on this business model for a little while, and therefore it comes to a point where I say, "Well, this is amazing. It is so appealing." You know? Its compensation plan is extremely equitable. It allows you to build an organization like your own business.
Yeah.
Through the power of leveraging. That's amazing, because in a traditional business, you probably have to run it yourself. You have to employ people, and you have to grow. And if you don't grow, you probably be on cruising speed, and you probably have to bury alive in a way. Now, the next most attractive part of it is their longevity, and it's willable to my next generation, my children. So this is amazing model, which I do not or have not even come across in all these years. So it's something worth considering. And over to you, Kitty.
Thank you so much. So maybe another person, Dr. Mark, do you mind sharing again about why you chose the 2 to 3 year plan, even though you're so successful in your career as an owner of a chiropractic practice? Oh, please unmute yourself.
Aha, yes, thank you for calling me successful, Kitty.
Of course you are.
Well, I think, look, it's with regards to business, all businesses are structured around income, aren't they? And we do get the privilege of being able to sell and supply products and services to those people around us who, you know, comes up in general conversation of, you know, there are needs out there and we can fill those needs. Some of the biggest needs in the world: health, nutrition, web services, weight loss, lifestyle, beauty. You know, there are many, many divisions that we have. And just in speaking to people in general, you can generally fill holes with regards to what their needs actually are. So we have that ability to create extra income. But the important thing that this business is different from other businesses is that there's, like, I can only do so much, and I suppose my wife and I can only do so much with regards to selling things. Now, we're not very good salespeople. Like, we can do our bit, but we're not like, you know, groundbreaking salespeople. What this business offers is it offers the benefit that other people in our organization, we get 100% of the benefit of their sales as if we sold it ourselves. So, and that's 100%. Like, for example, if I have another person in my organization who sells something, like, for example, a vitamin C or a multivitamin or a TLS program, yeah, my wife and I receive 100% of the benefit as if we sold it ourselves. And that's just absolutely extraordinary. There's no other business that, like, I look at my chiropractic office, and if I'm not delivering the chiropractic service, I don't get paid. We have an associate in our practice who we receive 50% of whatever money that they bring in to our office. But this company allows us to have 100%. So it'd almost be as if our associate in the practice gets 100% of what they do, what they see, revenue that they make. And then we also get 100% of what they do, what they see, and what they make. It's just an extraordinary platform. And I have never seen any other business being able to do it the way that this business is actually structured. And I think another side of business, Kitty, is expenses. You know, it's all very well to make great income, but if you've got high expenses, there's no point. And this business has no expenses. Well, I say no expenses because there are some minor, you know, minimum orders that we need to fill. There is a $26 a month fee for our website access so that people can shop on that website, and all the accompanying websites as well. But we don't have staff, we don't have rents, we don't have rates, we don't have land tax, we don't have power, gas, work cover costs, legal costs. It's just, you know, it's just extraordinary what this company actually offers. So the amount of income that it can create, the amount of expenses that it eliminates this type of business is just, it's a no-brainer for me. When I saw it, I was very excited, and I still am today. I love it.
Yeah, when we think about $26 a month, it's not even 2 cups of coffee a week.
Yeah,
and you are
just extraordinary.
talking about multi-million-dollar opportunities. Speaking of multi-million dollars, we've got an Auntie Anne Look who's joined us. She just came back from her Bible study group, and I have to, for those of you who don't know her, I know that many of you guests haven't met her yet. You know, Anne Look is actually our very first, well, in fact, she's the very first million dollar earner in Australia. She's earning in excess of $25,000 to $36,000 a month, and she has been able to earn in just 2 years more than 6-figure. And so, talking about, you know, the unfranchised business being able to give you $1 million earning, she's a classic example of someone who's achieved that. And I won't say much more, but just to maybe invite Auntie Anne to share, why did you, in the first place, choose the 2 to 3 year plan over continually doing what you've been doing, again, like Mark, successfully in your traditional business?
Hello, can you?
Hello, Auntie Anne.
Yeah, sorry,
you were able to make it just before we, Yeah,
I just want to come here and support Kitty because I know she's really can see the big picture. For this business, why I choose this one, because I already told them, mostly know me from 18 years old. I'm really entrepreneur, doing a business, traditional with so many type, mini supermarket.
Yep.
If you see my profile, you already know.
Yeah.
Because my father also a very entrepreneur.
Yes.
That's why I come from China, start business,
Yep.
and make it to so much. But the only thing I see is how hard she built, and he's always no time. Really live a big business, but when he not able to manage, the business just gone down. Because of, in business, if you are not there, think of new idea, new thinking,
Yes.
other people will overtake you because you don't have a system. So that's why I go through this, so I know. I would even bring agency, cosmetic to Malaysia and all these things.
Yeah.
Then when I married my husband, he's a GP, I really give up all my business and really marry him and focus on the children, because that's what he wanted me. I start to all this network marketing business because I'm not the one can stay at home and do nothing. That's why I go through so many network marketing. The first one, Amway, Causeway, you tell me, and go through.
Yes.
At the end, I find out multi-level is not true. It's making little money.
No.
So why don't I start my own multi-level company? So when my children are bigger in 1997, they are bigger. I told my husband, hey, now I can start my own business. So I tell him my plan. So I asked a programmer to do a program of multi-level, pay until 7 level and all these things. And with manufacturers support me with the product. But I find out that when it's multi-level, even your own company, unless you are very big, you can recruit a lot of people, but I'm just a normal. You got me? Not, I can't recruit a lot, and you pay until 7 level finish. So your UFO, that time called not UFO, the distributor will be few. They don't get paid much. So one by one will left.
Yeah.
So I start to do import export, but so a lot of big capital involved, and none of my children want to look at my business.
No.
They can see me, mom always at the office, headache of this and that, you see. We are chartered accountant, you see.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
yeah, that's why I think it's no point, because when I see my father's, when he leave a business, nobody take over. I think of myself. One day I will like him. So I always looking for opportunity. So any Yosana come to me, New Skin come to me, I will look at the plan. I will say no, because I already know. But when MA come in, just somebody give me a book. Actually, I recruit the one who sponsor me because he just give me a book. Oh, there's a new company coming in. So just give me a plan and who are earning the success of profile. That time I still have it. So when I look, wow, it's so amazing. And they attract me is the 2 to 3 year plan.
Yeah.
That is how attract me. I said 2 to 3 year plan, I can earn 100,000. That is my dream. So this is how so I go on. Even take me 2 years to retire my husband. My husband is a doctor. He's always had to see a lot of patients. Sometimes he come back and complain, so stressed, this patient or drug addict or this. But after I earn this one, he said, oh, I just love to see the patient I want to see. I just work a few hours.
Yeah.
So that is very good. And that's actually too good to be true. If I can make it, you can see me. You all can. I didn't go to uni and all these things, but just have a mindset to change.
Mindset is so important. Yeah.
Mindset to change, convert everything to your spending. Just enjoy your business, share your vision to others. That's it. That's what I do only. So excited when I see this business.
Yeah.
And then make sure they follow the system.
Yeah.
It will be there. So after the first shop finish, somebody still want to come in. So the second one, then the third one.
Somebody still want to come in.
Fourth one.
Yeah.
Because it makes you about 5,000 ma. So you earn more than it. And then I have people below me earn more than me. That's another good thing.
Yes.
Yeah, that is very good. This business is not selfish. You want your people below you earn more than it, then you are free. Because
you are really, really inspiring.
Create a lifestyle, not a living.
Yeah. Because, like Auntie Anne, what she did was what I want to do. She retired her husband in 2 years, like a doctor. My husband is not a doctor, but like I have been doing this more than 2 years and I haven't retired him yet. So I got to catch up.
You were.
But the other thing is, really she's been able to make such a difference as a senior business partner of everyone here who is actually on this call. She has been really supporting us, and we can always learn from her. And so for those of you who are guests tonight, I would definitely like you to consider, as you've chosen the 2 to 3 year plan, to take a second look, because already tonight you had a first look to evaluate it. If as I mentioned, we're not as good as Auntie Anne, 2 years already 6 figure. Even if it's like, the 2 to 3 year plan 3 or 4 times is still really good rather than the 45 year plan, right? You agree with me? If that's the case, then definitely come back on Zoom again and, do another look to evaluate it. But I've got 3 things I'd like to share before we call it a night. First thing is, after tonight, if you feel like, oh, this really didn't make a lot of sense, first time you looked at this, it could be, a little bit confusing, and especially we haven't really gone into the intricate details of it yet, then be open and come back. But if you feel like, yeah, this may not be for me after looking at this, you may know others that will benefit from it, whether it's the products and or the financial aspect of it. Then perhaps go back to the person who invited you to find out more and see whether that will be something that you can, you know, help others with. And thirdly, if you can already see this is something that you can do. I know that some of you, this is not the actual first look and you already seen it more than once. By all means, you know, go back to the person and we can do what we call a trial run. You don't have to be diving in straight away, but just to, you know, do a bit of a trial and then go through inviting others alongside you, your friends, to evaluate it with you. Then that way together, you know, we are able to answer your questions and support you, whether it's through our amazing lines of products to help you become healthier, or to be like Auntie Anne, to be able to earn ongoing residual income, be a millionaire, and just do whatever that you want to support others as well. So on that note, thank you everyone for being on tonight. And I hope that you've enjoyed the presentation. And if you've got any questions, please feel free to contact us. And I hope to see you all on Zoom or even in person sometime soon.
Yeah, very soon.
Okay, so until next time, take care everyone and have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, Kitty.
Well done, everyone.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
y'all.
Bye.
See you, everyone.
Thanks, Auntie Anne.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.